Hello, this is Doug Nelson, the administrator of BizEcalendar, and this is the third tutorial. This tutorial explains how to add events. We start off on the back end page of BizEcalendar, which is explained in tutorials 1 and 2. We're going to click on Add Event. Takes us to this screen. This is the Add Event screen. It's broken up into several different pieces. This first piece here is where you just type the event description, and the event description is what appears in the pop-up window when you click on an event title. So I'm going to click back, and if we look here, this is the event title, and this whole thing here is that this Oswego Chamber event is this event here. This link here that highlights when I scroll over it is the event title. And when I click on it, it loads another page, and this text here that I'm highlighting is the event description. So if we go back to Add Event, the text that I highlighted in the pop-up window is event description. So when you whatever you type in here will show up as the added detail, the extra detail you have in the event description in the pop-up window. You can put as much information as you want here, be as detailed as possible, try to include as much information for context so that people can follow up, phone you, email you, get a hold of you. You can put links to your website, links to your email, whatever you want. The event date here is the date of the event and where you want it to show up on the calendar. Important thing to think about is if it's an RSVP event, you should probably create 2 events. One event would be for the date that you want the RSVPs back, and the other event is for the date of the actual event. That's so that when we're reading these things on the radio, we remind all of our listeners in the business community to, hey, get the RSVPs in so that you can figure out how many people are coming. And then sometime later, for the actual event, we'll remind them that it's going on so they don't forget. Here we have event times, the start time, the end time. It's optional. You don't need to include that, but it always helps, and it ranks your event in the proper order on the day that it occurs if there's multiple events. The event title, which is very important because that's the one that actually shows, that's what shows up as the link on the home page in the day in the day of the event. That's let me jump back and show you. This is the event title. You need to give it a good title, and you need to try to be uniform in how you label these. One thing you'll notice here is that it's very important to how this website functions is right here we have a -- public -- and then a description of the event. And if we scroll around, we can find a members only. Where would that be? Here we go. -- members only -- What that is a way for our radio announcers to recognize events that they're supposed to read on the radio. Public and members only are events that you want to attract attention to over the radio program that we have. So you need to include the -- public or -- members only in the title of the event. And this is where the event title goes again. Time zone is always stuck to central. Category is where you include your organization. So if you're in the Oswego Chamber, you definitely want to click category Oswego Chamber. That's where the color box and the event organizer comes in here. Like, see, this says it's orange and it says Sandwich Chamber. That occurred there because they clicked the category Sandwich Chamber. If they didn't click anything, it shows up as blank, and it looks like it's unaffiliated with no organizations. You don't want that to happen. Here we have the event timing. If you just chose a certain date, like August 7th, 2009, then it defaults to not repeating the event. If you want to repeat the event, you can use these functions, which should be obvious for you to use if you've used Outlook Express or Gmail or anything like that. If you have questions about it, scroll up to FAQ and look under the event repeater questions, and they should elaborate everything you want. As far as reminders, we don't use this function of the website, so you don't need to know anything about it. Link and link text. This is something we don't need to use, so you don't need to worry about it. The one thing I will mention is that when you include a link in your event description, you need to write http://backspace www dot. If you don't do that, it doesn't recognize it as a link. That's what's important to do there. But this has been a quick walkthrough of what you'd need to do in order to enter an event. When you get all done with it, you click Submit, and the event will appear on the calendar. And you need to go back and double check your event and make sure that everything in it looks correct. And remember, these events get read live on the air 3 times a day, 5 days a week, and a lot of people listen. So you want to double check and make sure you get the right times and dates out there so that we don't have any misdirection going on. And that concludes the tutorials explaining how to use BizEcalendar and contribute to it.